Welcome to Sustainable Packaging with Cory Connors. Today's guest is awesome, Mr. Jeb the Boxsmith, who has over 200,000 followers as of today on TikTok. How are you, Jeb?
Hello, Corey. Thank you for having me. I'm doing very good.
Oh, man, thank you so much for taking some time. I'm excited to talk about what you're up to today, but I'd love to know kind of your background. What got you into artwork using corrugated? What got you into this idea?
Well, I'd always like making things just even from a young age. I started off with Legos. Legos were really fun for me. I really enjoyed them. But as I got older, I realized that my focus shifted from small little models, which I still love doing even today,
Yeah.
to I thought to myself, I want to build stuff that has a little more, was looking for staying power, something that's a little more wow factor to it.
Yeah.
Something that isn't, say, like $80 to make something that's about 10 inches tall.
Right.
Right. So I was looking for several years for a different medium to work with. I started out with, I think it was called Erector. That
Yeah.
was also, I also went into Connects. Connects are actually really fun. I really enjoyed the Connects phase. But I eventually settled on cardboard when I saw a video on YouTube where someone, just in my recommendations at the time, when I was in, I think about seventh grade, I think. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like summer of seventh grade. It was in about seventh grade where in my YouTube recommendations, I saw a video of someone who made a hand extension out of cardboard. And it was like super cool because it was like a small extension of the hand, like 3 inches, and yarn wires connected through like drinking
Oh,
straws that were taped to like the tips of the fingers, so that when you had to tie it around your actual fingers and put inside the brace. So when you move one of your fingers, the extension of the hand moves too. So you could like grab stuff that was a little bit farther away. And I
oh.
thought that was super cool. And I was like, I'm mechanically inclined enough to at least try that. So that's what I did. And doing that first project, I really fell in love with the medium of making things out of cardboard. And that's sort of what started where I am today. The gauntlet that I always wear is actually an homage to the first thing I ever made out of cardboard. It's not an extension anymore, it's a proper gauntlet, but it is still, something that's a nod to, it was a hand armament that I made.
I think it's awesome. And I love that. So you're very mechanically inclined, it seems. That seems, are you engineer, you think in the future someday, or do you already feel like you are now?
It's really funny. For many
Yeah.
years, I thought I wanted to be a mechanical engineer because that seemed like the closest profession to what I liked doing what I liked doing.
Yeah.
But mechanical engineers do a lot of math,
Yeah.
and math and I have always had a very complicated relationship. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily love it, but I respect it enough to, do the competent level I need to get through school to do.
Right.
But I knew that if I wanted to be a mechanical engineer, I would have to either love math. I would have to love math. And
Yeah.
I was like, then I guess I'm not going to become a mechanical engineer because that's not happening.
Hey, man, I think it's important that you had a realization, and that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Smart.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have to do what our abilities steer us towards, I think is the right way to say that.
I fully agree.
Definitely. So for the audience who maybe hasn't seen your TikToks or your other, I'm sure you're on other platforms. I haven't checked those out yet, but can you explain a little bit about what you do, and also where do you get your corrugated supplies?
A common question I get. Okay, so first, hello, those of you who are not already familiar with me. I'm Jeb the Boxsmith. I make cool things out of cardboard on TikTok. I combined making things from either pop culture, the occasional original creation. I'm in a short video, make them out of cardboard, whether it's a sword, an axe. I made a giant hammer one time. That was very fun. And I mix it with the building of things, the kind of DIY element with a bit of editing. I enjoy doing short bursts of editing that TikTok does, and I make things like that. I have merchandise now, which is cool. I really need to properly advertise that now, thinking about it. I I primarily operate on TikTok because that's the platform I'm most comfortable with and I have the largest following base. But I'm also on YouTube and Instagram as well. I also have a Discord channel where I encourage my fans to join so they can actually submit their own creations out of cardboard, things like that. It's a really fun time. That's my primary community impact I'm very proud of.
Oh, I love that. So you're building a community of artists.
That is correct.
Oh, that's wonderful. How exciting. And you're a young man. I don't know if you want to give your specific age, but you're much younger than I am.
I'm comfortable with it. I turned 18. Well, sorry, I turned 18 about a week ago. I am 18.
Oh, that's so awesome. You've got so much life ahead of you and you've already done some incredible things. I just see so many opportunities for you in the future. It's exciting.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, there's, artists, I've always been just passionate about art, but never very creative myself. So I enjoy good artists like you. And when I saw your page, I immediately followed and I'm immediately interested in what you're doing because I'm corrugated on TikTok. So I have to follow the guy that makes the cool stuff out of corrugated.
Right.
Important.
I found your stuff. You make cool things too. I did not find you organically. Your friend Adam Peak, the packaging pastor, he referred me to you. That's why I learned about your stuff.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate Adam. I've been guiding him through TikTok and he's guiding me through LinkedIn. So we're helping each other out.
I like that.
It's a team effort. So do you have like a corrugated source or do you just use boxes that have been delivered to you or?
It's honestly a little bit of everything. I've been doing this long enough where I just happen to know when and where I'm in an opportunity where I can pick up another box or so. So sometimes if I order something from, say, Amazon, I keep the box and make it to something later. My grandparents are actually two of my biggest fans. My grandfather, I don't exactly remember where he gets them from, but he knows someone who has like these like medical grade cardboard boxes that they just don't use anymore. So every now and then he'll give me some of those.
Oh,
They're
wow.
really fun, but they're also like, medical grade and extra just dummy thick. So I only use them when it's a project that really needs the emphasis of strength and dexterity. Like I made the Blades of Chaos out of them. I have a project that's coming out soon, the Blades of Uzui Tengen from Demon Slayer. I'm also making those out of that for my personal collection. And just anything that has an emphasis on this is a weapon that has power and dominance in them. I use the extra thick cardboard for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes my school has cardboard boxes. They moved a lot of stuff over the summer because they're buying new supplies and things like that. So they had some boxes and things left over, and I took a little bit off my hands, a little bit off their hands. So anywhere I'm able to see cardboard, I'm just like, hey, y'all want this anymore? Most likely the answer is no. So I just take it off their hands and make it into art.
I love it. I could definitely see you attracting maybe a corrugated manufacturer in your area, and they maybe will give you big 4 foot by 8 foot sheets of corrugated or something that you could really work with without any pre-scores or any tape on them or anything.
That'd be awesome. If only I had a workstation long enough to fit something that large.
Well, and someday you could have like a Kongsberg table. Have you ever seen those? How they cut out on a X and Y axis?
I don't think I have. At least if I have, I haven't heard that name of it before.
Yeah, I'll send you some videos. It's pretty cool. That's how we make corrugated samples. So
I like that.
when a customer comes in, we start with a flat sheet of corrugated, and then it has a die cut blade and a score wheel, and some of them even have a pen that you can write on. So you could do like an outline of a design or something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. But they don't create it like you. Basically, it sounds like what you're doing is mostly freehand. Is that right?
That is correct. I've experimented with like 3D modeling softwares and things like that. And while they do give you an extra level of precision, that's just I can't do by hand.
Yeah.
I have ADHD and I don't have the attention span to be learning, what do you call it, Blender or Illustrator for things like that. I actually do not pre. So what I do is wait to look at the weapon, pen, cardboard I'm going to be using, just like eyeball it and sketch it, think about how the character holds it and wields it, think if I were to have that in my hand, how long would be too long, how thick would be too thick. And when I have a outline that I'm happy with, fun fact, pencil erasers actually erase better on cardboard than does actual paper. It's a very strange thing. but also chews through the eraser twice as fast. So
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
right. So it's very quick and easy to just have it sketch the curve of a blade is like, that's too thin. Erase, 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 erase. That's a little bit better, but too thick. Erase or just leave it there, or just like draw that if I want to spare the eraser. And then just keep doing that over and over again until I find dimensions that I feel happy with. Cut that out, glue it together. I have my prototype. Then when I'm happy with it, I either film with it then, or if I want to make a template out of it, I'll make a template out of it in Illustrator where I like smoothen all the lines and everything like that to make it look nice and neat and professional. Test drive it. I test drive all of the templates that I make. That's another thing too. I'm trying to get back into, I'm getting into making templates for a lot of things that I make, so fans can make things along with me. That's the goal. I have at least two that I'm proud of that I've published right now. One of them was a collaboration I did with a video game company called Doba Rug. I made a garbage bot Christmas ornament for the holiday seasons. They sponsored me to do that. And the next one was an original creation. It was a little shorthanded axe that I made, and that actually did very well. Combined, the two have made at least 50 sales in the last month. So very happy about that. They're available for free because I want to build reputability right now. One day I'll have like actual dedicated books that I'll sell for that kind of thing. But for now, yeah, it's a free download just to get people into boxsmithing, just free of charge, a small thing like that. So I always test drive the templates, make sure they're actually like fun to do. When I'm happy with them, that's when I publish it and make a video about it. So that's kind of like the format.
Oh, that's amazing. So much potential. I could see books and books that you would write in the future. So that answers one of my questions I just had. Do you take commissions for pieces? Like if somebody came to you and said, I want Zeus's hammer, would you be willing to work on that for them?
It really depends. Generally speaking, the answer is no. However, for exceptions like people who like have a professional relationship with me, or like companies, things like that, who want to reach out to me, who want to like do things like that, that's when I'm like absolutely sure, because what I don't want to do is be overwhelmed by a list of different people's things, not being able to make good on them. So restricting myself, especially with, I'm a full-time student in addition to doing all of this. So I've really got to be careful with how I budget my time every day. So my last thing I need is like 5 orders. Someone wants a katana, someone wants a massive hammer, and then none of it gets done until like 2 years later. That's what I don't want to happen. That's an extreme, but that is still. So I only limit it to like things like people who sponsor me or like people I have a professional relationship with, because that way it's like one thing I say I can get done with a month. I can absolutely make good on that agreement. I get it done to them. I get paid for it. It's a splendid thing. So yes and no. Yes within it depends. It's a it depends kind of thing.
I think that's a great answer. It has to work for you. It has to work for them. We call it under promise and over deliver. We don't want to give a promise to somebody that we can do something that we can't actually do. So very smart. What part of the country are you in?
I'm in the United States, Georgia specifically.
Georgia. Okay. I'll keep my ears open for a corrugated facility in Georgia to sponsor you and give you maybe even some time on their design tables. That'd be really cool. So we'll keep an eye in and out for that. Yeah, Atlanta gang. All right. So what's next? Do you plan to go to college? You want to be an artist full time? What's next?
I do wish to go to college. I was actually I've been accepted to colleges. I would just say colleges.
Oh, wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been accepted into colleges. I plan to attend a college. I want to learn business management, administration, things like that, because I love being the boxsmith and fully want to, ride this coaster as long as I possibly can, and do good stuff with it. That is my ultimate goal. I've just doing the things that I've done right now with what I've learned. I see the massive potential that this has to impact people and be a really cool thing. So I fully intend to take that and just run with it and just do the best I can with it. So yeah,
I'm excited for you. You've got your head on straight. You're doing all the right things, and you're light years ahead of many adults that I know. So well done.
Well, thank you.
So how do people get in touch with you if they want to sponsor you or work with you?
Absolutely. For that kind of thing, my business email is Jeb, Jeb, the The, Boxsmith, B as in boy, O as in ox, X as in xylophone, Smith like the name, at gmail.com. Jeb the Boxsmith, like my stage name, Jeb the Boxsmith at gmail.com.
Right on. Do you respond to DMs on TikTok or Instagram or anything like that, or you prefer email?
I do respond to DMs. Email is just what I would assume most professionals are familiar with. So that's my go-to, but I do also answer DMs.
Good. Yeah, I'm amazed at how people are communicating these days. I'll get text messages from customers, and it's like, whoa, that's surprising. Or I'll have a new customer reach out on TikTok, and it's a different world today than it was 2 years ago, for sure.
That's for sure.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Jeb. I'm excited to watch your progress and see what happens next.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Landsberg Aurora, for sponsoring this podcast. And if you're listening, please take a minute to subscribe and give us a rating. Thank you so much.
Thank you.